It's 3:15 in the afternoon on May 24, 1990. You're driving westbound on Interstate 96 near the Fowlerville exit in Michigan. It's a Thursday, the kind of ordinary Thursday that becomes a before and after in someone's life. You notice a white 1986 Pontiac 6000 idling on the shoulder of the highway. That's unusual, not broken down, not with hazard lights flashing, just sitting there running. And standing beside it is a woman, 30 years old, blonde, wearing a white silk shirt and colorful floral pants. She looks like someone who has somewhere to be. She's not alone. There's a maroon minivan parked nearby. 2 men are with her. And as you drive past, because you're on the highway, because you're moving, because that's what you do, you see something that makes you slow your eyes, if not your car. The woman throws her hands up. One of the men places his hand on her shoulder. You keep driving. Everyone keeps driving. Paige Renkoski is never seen again. The morning of May 24, 1990 had been completely ordinary. At around 11:30 in the morning, Paige drove her mother to Detroit Metropolitan Airport. She was heading to her fiancé Steve's softball game afterward, a normal couple's Thursday in late May in Michigan. Around 2 p.m. she had a picnic at Griffin Park in Canton with a friend and her children. After that, around 2:30 p.m., she stopped at a party store in Canton and purchased a magazine and a beer. She never made it to the softball game. Her car was found abandoned on the side of I-96 near the Fowlerville exit with her purse inside and the engine still running. The windshield wipers were on. Her shoes were inside the vehicle. A woman left her shoes in a running car on an interstate highway and walked, or was taken, into 35 years of silence. Here is the detail that defines this case as an institutional failure before it becomes a mystery. The responding officer discovered Renkoski's car was still running and her purse and shoes were in the vehicle, and did not process this as suspicious. They merely had the vehicle towed. A running car, no shoes, no purse, no woman, not suspicious. Witnesses reported seeing Paige standing by a maroon or burgundy minivan with 2 unidentified men. A witness said she saw Paige throw her hands up in distress and one of the men placed his hand on her shoulder. According to some accounts, there may have been a 3rd man inside or near the van. These witnesses came forward. Their accounts were taken. The maroon minivan and the men inside it were never identified. Police found several fingerprints and palm prints in the vehicle, but a match has yet to be identified on any law enforcement database. 35 years later, those prints remain unmatched. Whoever touched that car has either never been arrested for anything, or was arrested and their prints were never connected to this case. Both possibilities are equally disturbing. In 1999, an anonymous letter arrived pointing investigators toward new information. The case has generated tips steadily for 3.5 decades. Paige's sister Michelle Renkoski Hollis continues to forward everything to the Livingston County Cold Case team. Tips still come in. In 2025, the case took its most significant turn in years. The Livingston County Sheriff's Office began collaborating with the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office to investigate a potential lead connected to Buster Robbins, a man charged with the 1989 rape and murder of Beverly Wivel, who has become a person of interest in Renkoski's disappearance. 9 months before Paige Renkoski disappeared, Beverly Wivel was sleeping in her car when she was abducted, assaulted, and murdered. Prosecutors said Paige had been to the same park as Wivel, same geographic area, same method of abduction from a vehicle, 9 months apart. The Livingston County Sheriff has confirmed they're investigating similarities between the 2 cases. No arrest has been made in connection with Paige's disappearance. She has never been found. The Paige Renkoski case exhibits a behavioral signature that forensic analysts call opportunistic predatory selection, a pattern in which a perpetrator identifies and acts on targets of opportunity within a specific geographic hunting ground rather than selecting victims by prior relationship or specific identity. The highway shoulder is a critical behavioral detail. Interstates create what criminologists call isolation pockets, moments where a person is briefly separated from their normal social context, visible to passing traffic but effectively unreachable by it. A woman whose car has stopped or been disabled on an interstate is in one of the most vulnerable positions a person can be in, surrounded by people traveling at 70 miles per hour who have no reason to stop. If Buster Robbins is ultimately connected to this case, the behavioral pattern becomes even more diagnostically significant. Beverly Wivel was sleeping in her car when she was abducted. Paige Renkoski was standing beside her running car on a highway shoulder. Both are versions of the same vulnerability. A woman alone with her vehicle, temporarily isolated from help. A predator who learns to identify and exploit this specific vulnerability doesn't stop at one victim. He refines his approach. He returns to the same geographic territory. He watches for the same conditions. The maroon minivan with multiple occupants adds a layer that behavioral science identifies as group predation, where the presence of multiple perpetrators creates a power imbalance that makes resistance or escape functionally impossible in a public space. A single woman on a highway shoulder against 2 or 3 men beside a van is not a confrontation she can win regardless of her physical capability or awareness. The witnesses who saw her throw up her hands were watching the moment that power imbalance became visible. What haunts this case behaviorally is the ordinariness of Paige's day before that highway shoulder. She drove her mother to the airport. She had a picnic with a friend. She bought a magazine and a beer. She was going to watch her fiancé play softball. She was 30 years old and she had not done a single thing wrong. Her disappearance is one of Michigan's longest-running cold cases. Her body has never been found. The men beside the maroon minivan have never been identified. Paige Renkoski's sister Michelle has been fighting for answers for 35 years. Somebody on that highway knows what they saw.